Hi friends, I am having a cup of Earl Grey in a flask because it's winter and I'm also getting some sun in during my break of rusks and tea. I wanted to just come and share some feelings and some love. May this reach the people, the women, the witches. This needs to reach in this very saturated portal of information. Sometimes wisdom, sometimes bullshit, a lot of untruths in this platform, and yet a lot of gold as well when you come to it. And so in my own journey of scrolling and looking at things, I realized like, wow, I really do have a responsibility to share because it can be a very confusing place. And I do feel called to just remind everyone that you all have a deep knowing that lives inside of your body, called your intuition, that is the point at which you can navigate towards or away from something. And I'm currently really looking at the witches, really activating this archetype because I feel it is the route to women's awakening, to their truth, to their spiritual power, to their inner knowing. So we are living in like crazy stupid times. There's things going on that are normalized that are absolutely not normal. And not many people want to speak about them because there's a lot of canceling and a lot of miscommunication and misinformation. And we've been through that with the whole Rona thing, which thankfully is now buried-ish. At least there's an awareness that we have to look after our bodies. We have to be close to nature to build our immunity. But yeah, there's still some confusion around what makes a mother, what makes a woman. And I don't want to go into that today, but I do want to talk about that little voice inside of you that looks at some of the chaos that's happening around you that says something's not right, but you feel afraid to actually vocalize it or even to trust yourself. And that's where our intuition is conflicted by our mental stories or by our need to belong into a certain family, culture, friendship group, subgroup identity. And intuition is really about self-esteem. And what that means is the more you trust yourself and are confident in your truth and the less you give a fuck about what other people think, the stronger and keener your intuition becomes. And it's actually not an emotional thing. It's a very clear, very calm sort of truth that builds its strength as you build your strength in listening and trusting it. And part of what the witch is calling in is that real trust in the intuition, in the deeper truth that lives inside of each and every one of us, which can look very different to each other. And one thing that I've been feeling a lot lately is death, especially since the chaos of what happened in America. And really not that I give 2 cents about what's happening in America. I'm on the tip of Africa, sun is shining. However, it does matter to me because I did have an abortion in America, funny enough. And yeah, I'm only sharing this because it was such a time of awakening for my inner witch, because I was so conflicted by spiritual goodness and the right thing to do, and my deeper body telling me, no, I'm not ready. My body's not ready. I still need time to heal. I still need time to connect to my womb. I was so disconnected. I had so much pain from the trauma I'd experienced that to have a baby would not feel good in my body. And whilst everyone around me were excited and wanted this to happen, and even my spiritual circles were like, this is a gift, this is a miracle, go with it. Deep, deep inside of my own truth, I knew that I couldn't do it. And I had to break a cycle, even in my family line, of women going with what is expected of them, instead of really being able to say, like, actually, I choose myself. I choose myself. And if that means that I let you down, I betray you, I end a beautiful love, a partnership, I end a trust between the person you love, then I have to do it. And it was earth-shattering in many ways, and also enlightening and awakening and empowering in so many ways. And I'm speaking to this because it really was the awakening of my intuition and the trust I had to have in myself in that moment, to know that this is the right choice. The right choice for my body, the right choice for my baby. And I could send the soul with love and know that in another time, in another place, this may be a different choice. And so I want to remind women that you know deep down in you what you need to do, what you're here to do, what is true and what is false. And when a world is so conflicted and confused and spreading lies and just stuff that doesn't feel good in your woman human body, it's really time to listen and to be clear about what is important for you and what is true for you. I was reading an article about men having tumors and taking hormones to induce feeding their babies from their nipples. And as I was reading it, I'm really, as you know, a very loving, open, I'm here for freedom, for all bodies, for all peoples. And there was a part of this article that made me really feel like a illness, a sickness inside, a grossness, as to this medication and poisoning that's happening to a man's body so he can experience breastfeeding. And so I just thought about the baby and the drugs and the pharmaceutical industry that's involved in that process of enlightenment or awakening or empowerment for this individual, and the very real confusion and trauma that's being corrupted and brought into a kind of trickery in many ways. And I had to just sit with myself and like feel that pain for where people are at and the disembodiment and the trauma of where we are as a species and how far we are from nature and what is natural and what is real. And it's heartbreaking. And I have been so afraid to admit to this like confusion and horror in many ways, but I know that it is time to just share the genuine feelings in my heart and to know that it's such a calm place that I'm sharing from. It's not a reaction, it's not an emotion, it's really just an intuition that we are seriously lost and we need to come back into our bodies and to listen to our bodies and our intuition so we can navigate out of this delusion and illusion. And yeah, part of that I feel is the work of witches and the work of women in particular who know what it really is to have that responsibility of bringing life into the world. That's what it means to be a woman, to have a womb. And nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can sign a paper and call themselves that, because it is something innate in the body and the cells to make life. And in that big responsibility of women who bring life into the world is also to take away life and know the responsibility of death and the pain of deciding to not choose to bring life. And I know so many women who've been through this. And I just want you to know that you're not alone and you're not bad. That is the truest essence of nature. Life and death. Life and death and life and death. And when a woman really awakens to that reality, it's like earth-shattering, and not many people can hold that power. And many people are terrified of it, and so they will try to destroy you or take it away from you or make you feel like you're crazy or bad or evil or a dark witch. I've certainly been called the death witch, and yeah, I find comfort in the darkness now. I find comfort in the choices I've had to make to really, really, really know the deepest truth of my trust in myself, in my body, in the universe, in God, in the divine, in the choices that my soul chose to come through and learn. All the hardships, so I can stand here and really speak from experience. So I'm here devoted to women, to my sisters who feel the call to really listen and awaken and remember the power that they hold and the responsibility that they hold to ensure that we bring life into the world in a really safe, in a really nourished container. Not in some sick, weird fantasy of, I don't know, some techno aliens or something, but we're flesh and blood and bones and fat and meat, and we are human for a reason. And this is a war on humans and the body. And we really, really need to wake the fuck up. Seriously. So, to those who feel me and who know what I'm speaking about and who want to find a place where they can share the confusion and the fear and the intuitions, that's what I'm here for. I'm holding these containers. I've made my profile private. I'm not interested in reaching everyone. I'm interested in speaking to those brave souls of women who really are seeking some guidance and support in this very confusing time. So yes. I love Earl Grey tea. I actually mix it with rooibos. If you're a tea drinker, it's a really nice combo. I love you. I love you, sisters. Know that if you've been through that death cycle, that it was and is your initiation, and on the other side is so much magic and just freedom, because you just know who you are, you just know what is true. You don't have to prove yourself, you don't have to get validation from outside of you. It's all within you. It's magic. You are magic. Oh, my love.